It is all but over for the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are not going to Santa Clara for the Super Bowl. They are not heading over to Levi Stadium. And I told you that the Bills are going to have to wait another season. The Bills are going to have to wait until they move into the new Highmark Stadium. I've seen the shot on CBS. Highmark Stadium right next to Ralph Wilson Stadium. Good work done on the stadium. It looks pretty marvelous from the outside. I have to see how it looks from the inside. See if it's a good atmosphere, just the final finished product of the new stadium. But Bills are the Bay. It's official. They wanted them to be the Bay. If they didn't want them to be the Bay, they would have had them lose this game. But now my view is, even though the Chiefs are number 8 in the conference, I just think that, um, by winning on the Chiefs or on the Bills, excuse me, by winning on the Chiefs for the public this week, by winning on the Bills, hear me out. By winning on the Bills this week, the public is going to bet more and more and more money on the Broncos next week. So this serves two purposes. Number one, the sports books, they want people to continue to bet. They don't suddenly want the volume to decrease if the public loses too much. They don't want them to lose every time. So when the public gets their win against Buffalo, still you're setting up the game next week where the NFL is like, hey, Kansas City's too good. They're so good for the ratings. We don't want them to be out of the playoff race. They don't want the Chiefs to be out of the playoff race. That's why the Chiefs are a lock to win next week, regardless of where the game is at. Well, to answer Mike's comment, well, I say the same thing every year, and every single year the Bills don't make it to the Super Bowl. Every single time the Bills win the regular season, I tell you, they don't make it. And I'm right every single year about the Bills. And I've been right every single year about the Chiefs playing in Super Bowls. But this is the first time in a while that the Chiefs are going to fail to make it to the Super Bowl. This is the first time that I am predicting the Chiefs to fail to make it to a Super Bowl. Because now, number one, it's Chiefs fatigue. Like, okay, you make it to 3 Super Bowls, 6 and what is the statistic? 6 and 7 years, 54 to 60, the 54 to 59. Yeah, that is 5 Super Bowls in 6 years. So there's a little bit of Chiefs fatigue, and we're going to have to space it out a little bit. And with that, even though the Ravens are going to continue to win games, public's still going to sleep on them. Because, they're just going to look at the 5 losses. They're going to look at the games early on, whatever, where the defense, they were giving up points. But the only problem with that is that the defense was pretty dinged up during those games. Like, they didn't have Marlon Humphreys and Roquan Smith for those games, for example, like against the Houston Texans, and then Ravens defense is good enough to get ahead early against Kansas City. They're good enough to be leading the Bills by 15 points at Buffalo, the same Bills team that was beating the Chiefs by 15. So the public's just going to say, you only beat the Dolphins, you only beat the Vikings, you only beat the Jets, so you only beat the Bungles defense. You lost against Detroit, you lost against Kansas City, you lost against Buffalo, right? They're going to make excuses, and they're going to continue to hate on Lamar Jackson because, he's a running back. He's a black man who can't throw. He's a running back. They're going to continue to make excuses for Lamar Jackson. That's what they're going to do. But they're setting the stage for Lamar Jackson to have the most legendary of all legendary playoff runs ever in the history of the world. Who got the live bet on Jacksonville right after the Colts lost, after the Texans lost? You knew the Jaguars were going to win. I don't think the Jags have played the Colts yet. And so that's going to set up the stage for the AFC South, where Colts have 2 losses, Jags have 3 losses. Jaguars are 5-3, Colts are 7-2. So basically, Colts haven't had a bye week. It looks like the Jags did have a bye week. So the week that the Colts are on the bye, the Jags win that game in hand. And Jags have 3 losses and Colts have 2. And so what NFL did with that Jaguars victory today is they obviously made the game entertaining at the end. The Chiefs game was practically over because the Bills dominated Kansas City. So you weren't really as tuned into that game. And so you weren't as tuned in to that game. We had to have one of these games produce some fireworks, produce some drama, produce some suspense at the end. And that game was the Jaguars and the Raiders. And when I was watching that game, I knew when the Jaguars went up 30-23, I knew that the Raiders were not going to settle for a tie, especially Big Balls Pete. Big Balls Pete loves being really aggressive. I remember the NFC Championship game. It was 4th and 4, 4th and 5, whatever it was, midfield. You can punt the ball for field position with how good the defenses were back in the day between the Harbaugh 49ers and the Carroll Seahawks. And what did Pete Carroll do 4th and 5? He went for it. Granted, it was scripted back then. 49ers knew the mission. They had to jump off sides, and they did. And so it didn't matter anyways. Russell Wilson got a free play, and they got the touchdown. It was to a receiver from the Washington Huskies. I forgot it. Jermaine Kearse. He caught the touchdown. That was the NFC Championship game. So, Big Balls P in the Raiders, basically, you're not going to settle for a tie. You got to tank, right? You got to either win the game or you got to continue tanking for a draft pick. And what did they do? They went for 2 because, you got to win the game. But I'm of the belief that teams do tank, and I think we're seeing lots of tanking. Tennessee knows they need a high draft pick. They're not that good. What purpose does it serve for Tennessee? Even though it's good for the players in the locker room, what purpose does it serve to win and cost you a draft pick? They let the Chargers back in the game and they won because tanking happens. If you ask me, well, would you rather have the lottery? I would much rather have tanking than having a lottery, because with the lottery, the NBA picks who they want to be good. Whoever has the first round draft pick. They outright rig the lottery, and the probabilities are near impossible. Like the Mavs had like a 1% chance of winning the lottery, then long and behold, they won the lottery. And NBA decides who it wants to be good. Well, at least when teams take independently, that they somewhat organically choose their destination and choose their future instead of the NFL. I'd rather have it happen organically from the front offices and the coaching staffs themselves than the actual teams. You're not playing for ties, right? This is America. This is not soccer. This is not Europe. You play to win the game. Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. You don't just play it. Play to win the game. And when you have a tie game it's almost like a feel of emptiness. It's not, oh, at least we didn't lose. It's, we did not win the fucking game. Maybe the Cowboys thought otherwise. Oh, we didn't lose, whatever, because they're mediocre nowadays. But a team like the Raiders and Pete Carroll, who's coaching for his job, and play to win the game. Who had that in the bingo card? Both the Lions and the Packers to lose, and then the Bears win. So the Packers only ahead by a half a game over Detroit and Chicago, because Detroit's 5-3 too, and Green Bay's 5. In okay, the lost column is first, I guess, before the tie column. So 5-2-1. Exactly as the NFL drew it up. Because Carolina is suddenly in the wild card picture at 5-4. Carolina, they are in the wild card picture. They have a head-to-head tiebreaker over the Cowboys, and let's say if Detroit wins the division, they have a head-to-head tiebreaker over Green Bay. So what NFL did was Green Bay played company men, so Bears can suddenly be alive for both the division and the wild card. And then obviously the Bucs have won the division, but then NFL says we need Carolina to stay alive in the wild card picture. Because 7th place is 5-3. In the home Super Bowl spell is gonna play out. Now the Giants are terrible. San Francisco, they got that win. They setting up the drama. 49ers, Rams. But this time, the NFL's leader in touchdown passes, Matt Stafford in the Rams, are going to beat the 49ers. The 49ers are going to, well, are they going to miss the playoffs? I mean, they got a pretty easy schedule. But if there's anyone that can beat the 49ers, it just may very well be a Cardinals team that is going to lose tomorrow, but had close games against the Colts and the Packers. Could have easily beaten either the Colts or the Packers. Cardinals point differentials -1. So San Francisco, if the NFL wants them out of the playoffs because they're hosting the Super Bowl, they don't want home teams to make it to Super Bowls outside of pandemic years. Key phrase, pandemic years is not the norm. They're the anomalies. They're the outliers. I tell you what, that 6-3 did play out for Kansas City, or that 5-4. Bills is 54. Kansas City will be 6-4. I am going to go as far as to say the Chiefs are a lock to win. I will be stunned if they lose the game next week. I haven't checked yet to see if it's at Mao Invesco High Field or is it going to be at Arrowhead. But Denver Broncos 64, Kansas City Chiefs 64. Just as you think they're out of the playoffs. Oh, yeah, they're going home. No Swift going this year. And then the satanical code is what happens. The Antichrist does equal 64. Kansas City stays alive at 6-4. They beat the Denver Broncos. If NFL wants LA team to win the division, I still think they want the Chargers to win the division. Then you're going to need Denver to lose for that to happen. I knew the Bears wouldn't lose today. I knew the Bears wouldn't lose today. I knew the Colts are a pretender. Both of these teams, neither the Colts or the Steelers are going to even sniff the AFC Championship game. The Colts are pretenders. They're a solid playoff team, but they're a team of pretenders. They will not beat the Ravens. I doubt they beat any team in the AFC West. I don't care what anybody says. That game against the Chargers was fixed and rigged by the NFL to continue the early season winning of Daniel Jones. But he'll probably beat the Jaguars because the ritual's got to be complete. Ritual has to be complete. The ritual is the Giants have to be doggone terrible, and the Colts have to win their division. So the Colts will win their division. The contender-pretender test for the Indianapolis Colts. They have zero chance of being Lamar Jackson. I know a pretenders team when I see one. The Colts, they'll beat the Falcons, but they'll lose to Kansas City because, again, number one, they are a fraud and a pretender. Number two, the NFL would like the AFC West to remain interesting. That's number two. And number three, just the 8-3 makes more sense for me after the Kansas City Chiefs game for Indianapolis than any other record. Falcons are garbage, so the Colts are going to win that one. They will not lose against Atlanta. I don't know who's going to start for them next week, but the Colts are going to be Atlanta. They're going to be perfect at home. What will they be, 6-0 at home or something like that? They'll be 6-0 at home like Indianapolis. And yet the Colts struggle on the road. They struggle on the road. They're 2-2 on the road. If the Colts have to go on the road in the playoffs, they're going to lose. If they get Lamar at home, Lamar is going to destroy them. Because don't forget, the Ravens beat the Colts when they won the Super Bowl with Ray Lewis. They beat rookie Andrew Luck. The battle of the two Baltimore teams. The OGs, Baltimore Colts, a.k.a. Indianapolis, and the team of Baltimore today, the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens also beat the Broncos. Broncos look like they're a playoff team. Ravens could have a rematch against the Broncos. There's a couple interesting marquee rematches that interest me for the Ravens. Steelers, I mean, Mike Tomlin rarely loses 3 games in a row, so they probably were a good bet for today. Maybe they did last year. They did pretty bad. They lost 5 out of 6 games, didn't they? Well, this team is a fraud because Lamar's going to beat the Steelers both times. He's going to beat them both times. The Chargers? Don't forget about it. Chargers have an easy win next week. Steelers suck. They're going to fall to 5-4 because they're garbage. Inglewood, California is the match I'm looking for. Plus, the Chargers are coming off the game against the Titans. Yep. Pittsburgh is going to be 5-4. The Steelers suck. They're awful. They're garbage. They are not going to beat 2 teams over 500 2 weeks in a row. Not with that defense. Danny Dimes and Indianapolis Colts, you guys are pretenders. You guys are a fraud. The Colts are a fraud. Prove to me otherwise. The Colts are a fraudulent team. I don't care what anybody says. The Colts are frauds. They will not make it to the Super Bowl. They are a fraudulent operation. Who's going to score a touchdown tomorrow? I think CeeDee Lamb with 39 touchdowns, Arizona 39. They number 1 wide receiver. I just see this guy scoring a touchdown. I see the CD scoring a touchdown. The Cardinals will not win the game tomorrow. They're going to lose. Where's the Cowboys touchdown scores? Come on now. NFL doesn't want the Cowboys to lose tomorrow. They They want the Cowboys to be in playoff contention when they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That's what they want. That is what they want. That is what they want. This is what they want. Cardinals are good rushing defense, so I think the Cowboys, their touchdowns are going to come through the air tomorrow. I'd be really shocked if it doesn't. Cardinals, Cowboys. Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride. Obviously, those are the two main guys that can score a touchdown. Those are the two stars on the Cardinals. Trey McBride is a great tight end. Fucking midget, gnome, garbage, spoiled, pouting, crybaby child. Murray doesn't throw the touchdown to Trey McBride, but then this guy gets what? 2 games with Jacoby Brissett. He gets 3 touchdowns. Anyone who has Trey McBride in fantasy football, they get fucked over by the midget gnome quarterback. I thank goodness thank goodness he's gone. Thank goodness I don't have to see this guy anymore. What a terrible game this is tonight. This is a terrible game. Did they really intercept Sam Darnold? He's a fraud, too. They're acting like this guy's an elite quarterback. He's a solid starting quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. He's a solid starting quarterback. He's a guy, he would win you a playoff game. But is he going to make it to the Super Bowl? He's not going to make it to the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold. He's a solid starting quarterback. Being elite and being a solid starting quarterback are 2 different things. As you can tell, he's solid. He wins games in the regular season. Is he a championship quarterback? No, he isn't, because of moments like that right there. The Seahawks will never make it to the Super Bowl after they got lynched at Glendale. You see, the Chargers will be tied for the division. The Chiefs are going to be a game back. Oh, that's on the road. That is on the road. The Chiefs are going to improve to 2-3 away from Arrowhead when they beat Denver. Denver is Gematria 23. Using abbreviations is very important because Elway is 2-3 in Super Bowls and Denver equals 23. Kind of like how I forgot. Like this. New England is 19-10, and the Tom Brady didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years. Super Bowl 39, Super Bowl 49, they're going for 19-0, the unbeaten season, New England. So they definitely do rig games through team acronyms. Kind of like how New York Giants equals their victory in Super Bowl 46, and they denied the 19-0. So the use of acronyms works. It's been proven in the history of Gematria that acronyms do in fact work, and you can derive meaning from them. Kind of like how Baltimore started 1-5. Well, Baltimore's Gematria 15. He started 1-5. It was all part of the script. 1-5 to Super Bowl winning Baltimore Ravens. Take a look at the Packers' loss to the Panthers. Less people are going to bet on the Packers now. That's another thing that I didn't have on my bingo card today. Packers are the parlay buster today. They were the parlay busting team. They pick a team every single week, don't they? Every single week. Who was it last week? Who was it last week? Who was the parlay busting team last week? Any given Sunday, any given Sunday, on any given Sunday, anything can happen. National Fix League, Las Vegas is a guy saying anything, any given Sunday can happen. Oh, last week was the there was the Jets and the Bengals. That's right. That was the one last week. That was the one where we wouldn't let us cash out some of these parlays, and then we find out Sunday morning that a Jets player died, and right there, they rigged the game for the Jets. Oh, because Dolphins are on Amazon Prime. The NFL decided that they were going to win and beat the Falcons the previous weekend. That was another of these parlay busting teams. I wonder what's the secret formula to predicting the parlay busting team. They just pick one game every week. Probably which parlay busting game would do the most would help maximize fan interest the most. Oh, Eagles Packers is on Monday. I thought that was a Sunday. It's on Monday. The Packers lose against the Panthers, and now they beat the Eagles because, any given Sunday in the National Fixed League, huh? Any given Sunday. Maybe the Packers didn't win on Jordan Love's birthday because Jordan Love wasn't born until the evening in the night. Maybe he turned 28 at 6 o'clock p.m. Maybe it wasn't technically his birthday yet during the morning games. Because it's not just the day that you're born, but, what time were you born? What time were you born? I tell you, that game right there, Broncos Chiefs victory. Everybody is going to bet on the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are fought. They are going to lose next week. Look at this team. They have a good defense, but I doubt Bo Nix. He's another Sam Darnold. He's a solid quarterback. Is he a championship quarterback? He's not a championship quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Texans fought a 3-6 against Lawrence because Lawrence is 36. Bottom line is Jaguars have to keep pace with the Colts. Also, Jones is 63. They have to keep pace with Indiana Jones. Jaguars going to be 6-3 next week. The Seahawks are a fraud. They have zero chance of winning the NFC. They play an injured Redskins team. They are a joke. This team is fraudulent. Well, they beat Jacksonville, but they lost against the only real team they played, the Buccaneers. They only beat the Cardinals. They beat the Saints. They beat those terrible teams. They lost against the 49ers. This team's a joke. This team's a fraud. This team is a fraud. They play. Well, how will Colts do against Seahawks? How will they do? They only win because I talk, but this team is not winning anything. The Seahawks will easily lose against the Packers. They will lose against the Eagles. That is the teams they will lose to. They will lose against the Lions in the playoffs. This team's a fraud. Look at these cupcakes they put. They're a pretender. Another sucker's going to place the NFC bet on the Seahawks. Oh my God, really? They want you to think they're more legit than the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are the big three. Jordan Love doesn't even get a 14th touchdown pass on his birthday. And no, I'm not going to be the shizio that says, "Well, they're watching the videos and they flip the script." I'm not going to say that. They could have called a pass, pass to the tight end in the end zone, but they ran the ball to Brandon Jacobs. Why not? Brandon Jacobs is a bulldozer, can get you 1 yard on 1st and 1. Makes sense. Get the touchdown to Brandon Jacobs. Seahawks are a joke. I'll delete my channel if the Seahawks make it to the Super Bowl. That's how much I know they are a fraud. The Seahawks not going to play a Super Bowl at the 41er Stadium. It's never going to happen. I feel they got lynched in the Super Bowl. This team's a joke. Marshawn Lynch, man, you guys suck. Seahawks suck. They deserve all the delusion that's coming. If they think they'll ever win a Super, you just don't come back from the biggest chokingest moment in Super Bowl history, second bar to the Atlanta Falcons. It just has to, we thought that couldn't get any crazier than that. We had that 28-3. They didn't run the ball to Lynch, and we had that. It was rigged for Tom Brady back then. It was rigged for Tom Brady back then. Ravens going to obviously beat the Vikings. Well, garbage ass Commanders team, the Redskins code did work out for tonight. It did. It did. But Lions are not going to lose. Detroit's 37. Commanders are 3-7 after losing the NFC Championship game against Philly. Oh yeah, by the way, this Eric faggot here keeps on making these comments. Oh, you can't use Comanche. Give it up, Comanche BS. This guy over there has no life. And it's like, really, get a hobby. Comanche is a cool habit. It shows you don't get all warped up with these stupid ass rigged games because they 100% rig it through Comanche. Eric Andrus, this fucking, right? No hobby. Like, what are you doing just trolling and on Gematria channels? Like, don't you have a hobby or something? Like, you got to get a life. Get a life. All these haters, man, get a life. No. This guy's been coming to my channels more recently. And by the way, I don't do no Patreon on none of these games that these other people do. I'm just not in this for sole financial gain. That's not who I am. I don't go around. I need a donation. I need a Patreon. I need this and that. Show you the picture. I don't. This is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. It is hard, and it's never supposed to be easy. The Patreon. This is bullshit. This is it. Somebody ought to be here. Just don't start asking for $5 a month on the Patreon. Double codes do happen for a reason. They're solely designed for you to figure out which one is the actual code. I think the NFL is aware that there's a gematria awareness movement going on. And they got to double code some stuff there. Just like, for example, today, like if Chiefs won, they'd be 6-3, Buffalo 63, but they lost their 5-4, Bills 54. That's a perfect example. So when you go about the gematria, is the outcome practical? It syncs up with the numbers, but then part two of the process, part criteria, is the outcome practical? But then it's a crapshoot depending on which game is the parlay buster. And Joe Flacco looks like Joe Montana, and then they lose against the Jets, right? He's pretty tricky people, right? Oh, what if Nick Mangold really died on Thursday, but then they wait a few days to tell us on Sunday when they disabled the cash out feature. And it doesn't mean anything for the Jair Alexander trade. He didn't get any playing time in Baltimore. Baltimore figured we could get a draft pick or whatever for him, and they're a smart organization, and they know that another team would play this guy, and he still has value because he has a lot of experience and playoff experience with the Green Bay Packers, and he wasn't part of the Ravens' plans, and so they got a draft pick out of him, and that's why the Ravens are a well-run organization. And so at this point, he means absolutely nothing. I don't know where he's at right now. I just know that he's gone. The Seahawks are a fraud. This team's a joke. This team is a joke. They Carolina was a team they wanted to stay in the wild card picture, and so because Carolina won, that kind of meant bad news for the Redskins, the Washington team. I see 76% are on the Cowboys spread. And this is one of these moments where the Cowboys will win because Jerry Jones loves the spotlight, and the NFL owners, because of revenue sharing, they want the Cowboys to win. The Cardinals are kind of meaningless, and they don't mean anything at this point. And the whole Kyler Murray return back to Texas, it goes away at this point, and this is where we are right now with this. Yeah, the one thing that stands out to me is CeeDee Lamb has 39 touchdowns and Arizona's 39. So why can't CD get another CD highlight on Monday Night Football? CD is 27, Monday's 27. CD Lamb, get in the end zone tomorrow. You better get the job done, CD. I need to see some CD highlight reel from you on Monday Night Football. Get the job done, CD. I want to see some highlight reels now. Let's get the job done. Let's go. Did the Cardinals beat the Cowboys? Holy moly, holy moly. What a dud of a Sunday game. What a dud of a game. What are the other games for next week? So we know Washington will fall to 3-7 against Detroit. Detroit 37. Chiefs will be 6-4. Kansas City Chiefs is 64. I think Santa Clara is 72. That's why the Colts lost. They're 7-2. A lot of teams are going to be 7-2 this year, like Santa Clara. And I think a team that will be 7-2 next week. Well, the Patriots are 7-2 right now. Bills will be 7-2. Colts are 7-2. Broncos are 7-2. Ha! Lakers have won the championship. You go, King of Bond, loser ass, hating ass motherfuckers. You're truly washed up at this point. And you never ever win another ring ever again. Go, King of Bob Jones is winning that big breath this year. Let's go. Go, King of Bob Jones. How? AR-15 it is. Way out, 15 haters. Marcus Moore in the deep end. DeAndre Ayton haters, you a hater, son. You a hater, child. Stop hating on the buddy. We're not even 10 games in at this point. He's a high defensive efficiency mark last year. The stats don't lie. The Phoenix Suns washed up the potential of the Diamond Maker. I'm ready for this year. Looking the ball and looking legendary. Liquid shovel in the history of the world. Yeah, ain't no nothing. And we need to see the Arizona Wildcats and Bryce James in the Final Four. He is better than Bronny James. CBS would love the do-re-mi that comes with Goalking LeBron James sitting courtside in the Final Four. This is just like Taylor Swift. It's Goalking LeBron James watching her son. It's Taylor watching Travis Kelce. Same exact playbook. It brings in the do-re-mi, and so the Arizona Wildcats in the Final Four. Arizona, let's go ahead. We go, boys. Take over the Big 12. Let's go, Houston. The psychological factor. We lost the national title. It wears off you through the whole entire rest of the year. It's time to take advantage of that. Just like great New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays psychologically scarred for life after they were this close to winning the World Series, and the ball is once against the wall, and you know the runners at first and third. You could have knocked in the run out of sacrifice. What I'm talking about. Wildcats take advantage of the Houston Cougars losing national title. These guys are psychologically scored. And same thing, Yankees going to come back and win the division. They should get a top 2 seed next year. Yankees, Dodgers, World Series. Great Jorginho was batting over 400 in the playoffs. Great Jorginho knows exactly what to do to be consistent throughout an entire postseason. Great Jorginho is going to have more healthy starting pitchers next year. The Dodgers will be back, and the New York Yankees are here to deny the Dodgers 3-peat, and maybe after when the Yankees and the Dodgers are in the World Series for the second time in 3 years, maybe they start talking about a salary cap or a salary floor. Or we need both. Salary cap, but then we require you small market owners, you need to spend a minimum percentage of the revenue that you have coming in, that you're just not going to pocket the revenue. You got to actually spend some money, and you have to give a damn about investing back into the team. Because fan-owned teams, they would invest back in the team. But because these guys are billionaire corporatist capitalists, they're not going to invest back in the team because the whole thing's a scam. At least should be 50-50 cooperatives. 50% owned by the fans, 50% owned by private equity, whatever. The fact is we would see better results throughout these leagues, obviously, if they were less in control of greedy Republican billionaire owners who primarily use these teams as extra money, and they could care less about, my team has won the World Series. And they don't care. They only care about money. Okay, that's what they care about. Daniel Snyder's gone, and they're having a typical Redskins season. Injuries, but Jane Daniels is healthy for this game, and how good is their defense? They don't have any defense. I hope this team is not on national TV for the rest of the year, quite frankly. I hope they're not on national TV for the rest of the year. Okay, Monday night and Sunday night, you guys are garbage. I don't know what I'm watching it. It's like I mean, Deebo Samuel is actually healthy this game. Have they figured out the film to stop Jaden Daniels? They didn't have any film of this guy last year. But the young buck is going through adversity for the first time in his NFL career. I would say a bounce back third year is there's a good chance of that. But some more slumps do happen, and clearly he's got to make some adjustments to what teams are doing to him on the defensive side. Yeah, Daniels sucks with or without Daniels. It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter at this point. Goat Kinabon has won the championship. Thank goodness he's won the championship. Suck my purple and gold balls, bitches. You all thought Goat Kinabon was stuck at 4. You and your RFG quack faggot. Oh, he flashed 4 fingers. Goat Kinabon is stuck at 4 rings. Yeah, hey, Nectar! This team is winning games and they injured. Look at you little bitch-ass haters. Are you quitting-ass, faggot-ass, beta-ass, faggot-ass, beta-ass bitches who claim to be Goat King of the Bond Nation, but you be quitting and being little faggoty-ass betas? You all can get the fuck out of here because y'all be a bunch of faggoty-ass betas being quitters. Man, you guys are soft. You couldn't make it through D-Day. You couldn't make it through World War II. You couldn't make it through Vietnam. You guys are soft. You're soft as charming is what you are. You're the definition of bandwagon. You're only going to bandwagon this team when they win games. You guys are soft-ass faggots. Yeah, I guarantee you Kobe would say the same thing, too. You would say the same thing, too. Kobe's right. You're soft-ass charming, but quit-ass betas. We got to rebound it. You ready to go? We got to defend it. We got Marcus Smart to team up with Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt gets hurt, we good. Because we got Marcus Smart. There's nothing talking about my head. I'll get them off. Let's trade Austin Reeves. Let's trade. He understands. He's on the mission. He's a superstar. Tomorrow, look, Raffia. This is what I'm talking about. He's been tossed around like he trash by 3 different teams. Grizzlies, the Sacramento Kings, and I forgot the other team. Jake LaRavia. What a baller. What a baller. My, oh my. He wasn't even expensive. Look at these losers. Look at this Goat in the bar. Hey, that's losers. Let's wait till the goat comes back. I know you little satanic, you Illuminati conquestors. When Goat King the Bond comes back, this team will start losing games. You're blame Goat King the Bond for that. Not so fast. Not so fast. But then, you famous ass clouds can be predicting the Thunder, Spurs. Wetland! Wetland! You're gonna continue to sleep on the Lakers. Luka and LeBron James, you are on myth if you think this team can't win a championship. Now they have an actual replacement for Anthony Marshall Davis. He didn't have a rebounder last year against Timberwolves. Dominating's here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. 5-2 start to the repeat run like Kobe 5-2 NBA Finals. I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT of basketball. I am the GOAT of basketball. I am the only guy who predicted the GOAT King of the Bottom prophecy. I am the GOAT of basketball. Nobody can come close to lacing my shoes. Because I knew GOAT King of the Bottom was going to tie Mike and Kareem April, May, before the offseason even happened. Before dominating. Before Marcus Smart. I knew they were going to put together pockets to make it happen. King GOAT, the Bonsai, Space Jam, a new legacy. You let a guy be the future of the Lakers because GOAT King of the Bond actually cares about the long-term future of the Lakers, and GOAT King of the Bond does not make every decision of this team. Because Lakers team that we in control and we care about our post-GOAT King of the Bond future. GOAT King of the Bond does not make every decision of this team. But GOAT King of the Bond adjusted to Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. That GOAT King of the Bond could easily make that transition to adjusting to playing with Luka Doncic. GOAT King of the Bond knows how to put aside ego and stats for the betterment of the championship in the team. There's no other player, there's no other superstar that could make the adjustment of teaming up with Luka Doncic. Kyrie Irving failed. Don't give Bonte James to show Kyrie Irving how it's done. There's the GOAT, and then there's Kyrie Irving. GOAT King of the Bond's going to show him how to finish the job when there's two teams left in the NBA Finals. What GOAT King of the Bond is about to do this year. Hey, I think NBA players, these young bucks out there, they didn't respond to Michael Jordan's message on game management like they should have. Because right after Michael Jordan's comments about game management, suddenly everybody couldn't play. 4 Cavs starters, it's the NBA Cup. They decided not to play. Cavs have no heart. They're not going to make it to the finals. They didn't give a damn about getting used to that playoff mode early on in the season because you were in no playoff mode when everyone suddenly picked up an injury last year. Was this Las Vegas talking? Maybe, maybe not. As far as underground poker games, rigged poker games, grow the hell up. This has happened for decades. People have bet underground on sports for millennium, centuries. Sports have always been bet on. There'll always be a market for sports betting. All this stuff with the NBA didn't just start once it's legal to bet on FanDuel, on DraftKings. Everyone was betting the offshore bookie. before the days of FanDuel and BetMGM or whatever, nowadays, this allows the government to easily know who's winning, and so they can collect their share of the tax revenue. Rigged games have happened for decades. The mafia targeted vulnerable individuals in the collegiate and professional games. And they don't beat up their family and they don't beat up the athlete when he doesn't pay up the bookie. There's another way to pay the bookie. And this is according to Michael Franchise, a former mobster. He has a YouTube channel. He specifically states that, okay, you don't have the money, but you will pay me. And what you're going to do is these next few games, you're going to put the ball on the ground the first 3 times. You're going to throw a couple interceptions. Basically, you're going to tilt the point spread to their favor. That's how they get their money back. When they know you will manipulate this game for them, that's how you pay them back. When they make a killing off of this game that you're about to rig. And this NBA betting scandal stuff, I mean, it's happened far longer than the existence of FanDuel and BetMGM. 2021 for Arizona, earlier for other places. Games have been rigged even before sports betting became legal. Now the government can just tax it. Rigged games didn't just start when sports betting became legal. People still bet on sports even when it was illegal. They did it through the offshore bookie. They did it through an actual underground bookie. These people are gullible. They acted like it all began when sports betting became legal. Ridiculous. Rigged games have happened forever. Super Bowl III was rigged so they could legitimize the AFL, so they could legitimize the merger of the NFL and the AFL. He explains it. Let me show you the video. This particular mobster, he had a little gas. Really articulate that. I need more detail about that. But here's the video. Oh wait, let me get the actual video from his channel. I gotta type in mobster. Let's. Oh, it's the mobsters that rig the games. No, the NFL rigged their own games. Maybe they get a cutback from the mobster. Maybe the NFL is in this with the mobsters. But nowadays, it ain't just about mobsters. NFL is in bed, obviously. It went from mobsters to it's controlled by corporations. The corporations are in the game nowadays. Now, California and other markets, the mob will still operate under where it's not legal. This is where you get your Shohei Ohtani ordeal. Because in California, you can't legally bet on the sports game. It's deal with an illegal bookmaking operation or it's drive out to Las Vegas. For me, it was just drive to Las Vegas before it became legal in 2021, right before the NFL season, the opener between the Bucs and the Cowboys, 2021. That Cardinals-Titans game is just laughable. There are people out there who actually think that game wasn't fixed by the players on the Cardinals. Well, this is another reason why I'm going to retire from being a sports fan, because these guys, they don't care about the city, the town. Oh, the NFL team may tell them you got to give the appearance that you care. So how do they do this? Public relations. So you got to get involved with charities and schools and all that, and this kind of thing to make it appear that you're playing for your community. Well, these players are not born. That they're not from, Arizona, for example. Well, you represent Arizona. They're traded, they're drafted by the Cardinals, so they didn't voluntarily choose to join this team. And so right after 2026, 2027, right after the end, the last World Cup, Argentina, end of Goat Kinnaban's career. It's over. It's done. George wins his ring. It's over. It's done. I'll be retired as a sports fan. Summer 2027, I'm near my retirement as a sports fan, not as a gematris, not as a sports bettor. No, I'm not retiring for any of that. But it'll certainly up my game exponentially when I'm no longer a sports fan. I think this is the best move I'm going to make for my career. As a matter of fact, when the retirement happens, I think I'll put the jerseys away. I think I'll. They're at this point, the jerseys would be collectibles. It just wouldn't be thrown in the trash can. It'd just be something I just collect, just from a prior time where, I had a certain, identity, whatever, as a follower or whatever. But yeah, I can tell you what's happening with these NBA players. They're betting in these poker games, and instead of just asking them for money, these players end up broke because their families are always asking them for money. And if you don't give them the money, then they'll never talk to you again. And that's what happened to Scottie Pippen. When they make it big time, their families, because they share their same blood, they feel entitled to their cut of whatever they make it. I think that's very toxic. They got there through hard work and preparation and all this kind of things, and then family member A, whatever B, oh, you were rich. I have your blood. We're in the same family. I gotta get. I please help me. I gotta get this money for this. Is that happening to Terry Rozier? Is it pure greed, or is it I gotta make something extra because too many families, too many friends, they ask me for money? The media's not having a real conversation about this, are they? That's what's actually happening. They family and friends in the hood, they feel the peer pressure. I gotta give them the money because otherwise I will lose my connections. I will lose my friends. I will lose my camp. This is something that doesn't get spoken about by prominent members in the media. That is what drives these guys to bankruptcy. Well, I'm not saying that, too much kabling, do re mi, too much cars, too much jewelry, too much money thrown and tossed around at the club. Okay, this kind of thing does happen. It does happen. But for some guys, it's the pure pressure of the family, and I don't want to lose the connection to them, and they'll never speak to me again if I don't give them X amount of dollars today. I don't think it's just about wealth management. I think it's about managing the peer pressure and this succumbing to the peer pressure. I think at this point, I think it's about self-respect. I think if they don't respect that you made their money, and maybe one time in 5 years, something does happen. You only ask them for money one time in 5, 10 years, whatever, but you're asking them for money like every 2 weeks, every day, every few months, and yeah, we have a problem. You're clearly exploiting the situation. So these are the boundaries that have to be set. This is how you can know who's real and who's not real. So yeah, what happened to Scottie Pippen? What's happening to some of these guys? You got to set the boundaries too. If you're in dire need of money and you're respecting their boundary, you're respecting the boundaries they set, and you really need money, and you're not asking them for money every month, every week, they'll fucking help you. I swear. But these family members, they turn into acquaintances, and they're not really your family anymore. I'm sorry. At this point, they see you as a piggy bank. So that's where the boundaries have to be set for some of these young bucks and some of these athletes out there. You got to be seen as a person and not as a piggy bank. These guys need to have these conversations. The NFL does this whole managing the wealth and all that, but it's more about managing the relationships. Hopefully, they go into that. I don't think they're going into that part. I don't think so, because the emotional aspect of relationships versus the logical aspect of saving money, that does complicate things. So is it pure greed? I need more and more and more by Terry Rozier. Is it I'm that dumb as a brick? Or is it this friend of mine, this childhood friend, he's asking for money every single week. And I feel the need to get involved with that shit. But we really need to hear more from Terry Rozier. Because either something's not adding up or it's really dumb, unfiltered greed. It could be a lifelong childhood friend who's asking you for money every single week. I don't know what's going on with Terry Rozier. I don't know. The only way is to interview him. Is any journalist out there going to cut deeper to the issue? I don't think so. I don't think so. NBA still legally rigs their games. You just don't have to get involved with all this underground poker shit. And you fuck up your family like Chauncey Billups. These ass clowns without any proof acting like Kim Bond is part of this. You're delusional. He's not involved in garbage like that. He's involved in legitimate business entrepreneurial enterprises. He has his own brand of Hennessy. So you go Keelan Bond hating Bond's acting like he's a part of this. He's a part of the wild poker games. You don't have any evidence of that. Keelan Bond's not a moron. Why has he never been charged with a crime? Why has there never ever been a scandal broken out by Keelan Bond in the age of social media? If there was social media back in Michael Jordan's days, surely they would have been snapping him at Atlantic City in Las Vegas. Who's Michael Jordan betting on today? They didn't have phones back then to capture the photos of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would play games at Atlantic City in Las Vegas. He would literally in the AM in the morning fly out to where he's playing his next basketball game. His father got killed by the mob. You see, the media takes people as being retards. Oh, well, this young bucks wanted some jewelry that James Jordan was wearing, this and that. Something deeper is happening. Definitely something deeper. Some say Michael Jordan was supposed to throw the NBA Finals for the mob, and he didn't do so, and that's why his dad was killed. Maybe Michael Jordan was a compulsive gambler. Maybe his dad was a compulsive gambler as well, and maybe that's what killed Michael Jordan's dad. Maybe he was as compulsive of a gambler as Michael Jordan. NBA salaries weren't in the double $1 million as it is today. Michael Jordan's wealth was tied into stocks. So Michael Jordan was betting on credit with the mob because his wealth was tied into Nike and whatever other ventures Michael Jordan had. His wealth was tied into stocks. His wife had to set a gambling limit for Michael Jordan. All these global rooms out there act like Ohtani was not betting or any of this. Ohtani will probably has a highly competitive drive like Michael Jordan. They just want to, they get the thrill of just winning shit. Like winning basketball, but I want to win shit. Like this compulsive need to win for Michael Jordan is what drives his gambling habits. Why else would Shohei Ohtani be as much of a degenerate gambler as Michael Jordan? I don't give a damn what anybody says. The mob killed Michael Jordan's father. Are you ready? GTA 6 next year. What does GTA 6 mean, Diego? I'm not getting your drift. I'm here for Coke in the barn. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. We're getting very, very closer to that championship. It is coming. It is under a year away. The long wait has come. 6 years later. Go, King LeBron James. 6 Enigma. Long live the power of 6. Let's go. I have no clue. I've heard of Grand Theft Auto. Hopefully it's not driving all this crime. But people need to correctly discern reality from fantasy, okay? It's a fun game to play. I played it. It's fun. NFL games next week. Now, let me tell you, when playoff standings and maximizing of fan interests has a higher stake as it's later in the season, I believe the games are easier to predict. I generally do very well later in the season. I think if the Bills lose and maybe Patriots lose and Baker can make a case for being MVP because Patrick Mahomes, he's not locked to win MVP because he lost the game. He will, yeah, he lost against Josh Allen, but then, like, look, he lost against who did Josh Allen lose to? How did he lose against the Falcons? How was that possible? How was that possible? That game was rigged. That game was rigged. And not always is the best team win every Sunday. They definitely choose their crisis actors. What if the Jets beat the Clowns and everyone's crying for Shedeur Sanders to start? They're crying for Shedeur to start. Sanders is 28. Could Shedeur Sanders play against the Raiders? The Cleveland Clowns lose against the Jets and the Ravens. Shedeur Sanders starts against the Raiders, and he gets the win over the Raiders. Shedeur beats the Titans in December. This is about to be a clusterfuck of a season for a team that is deemed to be taken. It's Shedeur Sanders may start and beat the Titans and the Raiders. They know this guy's good. They know he played with a bad offensive line. He knows how to take bad hits. That's not going to be a concern whatsoever. But the reason why he's not playing is because it's a racial divide and conquer agenda. And they're not playing him because he's a cocky black man. It's divide and conquer. He should be playing right now. My main issue with him, on the other hand, outside of the racial baiting, is he takes too many sacks. He holds the ball too long. He tries to play hero. But he's very skilled passer. He will handle the hits from the NFL linebackers and defensive linemen because the Colorado offensive line was garbage. So Dylan Gabriel can only throw 5, 10-yard passes. Shedeur Sanders, he can sling that baby. I want to know risk it, no biscuit quarterback that can throw the ball downfield, that can make plays happen. And no risk it, no biscuit doesn't happen. The playbook doesn't open. The defense doesn't have to defend the whole field when you have Dylan Gabriel. Gotta play Shedeur Sanders. It just seems manufactured. It seems like it's a big divide and conquer racial agenda to keep people divided and conquered through race. I mean, Shedeur should be playing right now. We'll see how the playoffs turns out. If their golden boy, Patrick Mahomes, is another Super Bowl, or Lamar Jackson is about to make white America go cray-cray. But the owners are still white supremacists. They don't like the black quarterbacks getting all the credit. That's why Saquon got the credit for last year. And they're going to give the credit to Derrick Henry this year. So I see the bullshit. I see the games that they try to be playing with us. They really want because you're the top 2 running back. These old, crusty, white Republican men that own these teams are racist, are Republican, are fascist, are all for pro-separating a family. They are white wingers to the core. Okay, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Saquon wins the Super Bowl. How do we discredit him? Oh, it was because of Saquon Barkley. I see your subliminal white supremacist ritual going on there. You NFL. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. They do the same thing to Lamar Jackson because he's got Derrick Henry. Even Lamar is having a fucking balling ass year. 14 touchdowns and 1 interception. I've seen the growth of Lamar Jackson. Right after the AFC Championship loss to the Chiefs, Lamar Jackson has truly grown right in front of our own eyes. Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow are the 2 best quarterbacks in the game. This Patrick Mahomes character, it's all manufactured with him. He's a talented athlete. Yes, he's great, but NFL has an agenda to pick a certain chosen one. Tom Brady's a fraud too. Peyton Manning was better than him, but he's a cute-looking guy from California, Tom Brady, so he's a chosen one. These little NFL script writers, they pick who's going to win. It's just worthless, I think, to root for a pro sports team in the NFL because you don't. The front office and the coach, they don't choose the team's destiny. The NFL does. Cardinals have what? -1 point differential, and yet they're 2-5. And the NFL ref didn't throw the holding call. Cardinals should have beat the Chiefs. And, that's why I should just give up being a sports fan. Because of shit like that right there. And the Cardinals kicker was scripted to kick the ball short of 20-yard line. And, the NFL picks who they want to win. Every week. Every single week. Every week. Austin Reeves is a superstar. Fuck you little haters who want to trade Austin Reeves. NBA's rigged. That's why Austin Reeves didn't do well in the playoffs the last couple of years, because the NBA's rigged. They didn't want the Lakers to win the last couple of years. They wanted the Celtics. They wanted Thunder. Well, fuck all the bullshit. Get behind the player. Get behind AR-15. Start going on everybody out there. And look at the goalkeeper behind him. A healthy rebounder. Let's go. Come on. A little beta-ass, hating-ass cocks. You little faggots. Your dick is not as hard as mine right there. You ain't got no mammal blood running your veins like Big Ball of Tea right here. You ain't got no mammal blood, don't y'all? I can't bear the will to sacrifice another season for the Lakers. This is fucking epic, man. They win a championship for 6 years. You went back to back. This is the grinding form of adversity that is just great. And people are going to act like that's Luka that's carried the team. Goalkeeping Bonds washed up, and that 2023 was the last year that we've seen the greatness of Goalkeeping Bond beating the Grizzlies and the Warriors, and that Goalkeeping. No. Goat King is here. Goat King knows how to maximize the talents of his team to their full potential. Goat King is here to stay. The game was rigged last year. NBA told Goat King the Bond, you're not making it to the second round. He purposely didn't take a shot in the last 6 minutes of the game against the Timberwolves. All these fucking retards, their brains are just shut off. You're goating LeBron James. You're not taking a shot in the last 6 minutes. The games are rigged. That's why we win the championship, because the green light has come where this is the year at 41 years of age that goating LeBron does so in the same age that Kobe died at 41. Kobe just died. That's the goating LeBron James went championship at 40 years of age. We ready for this shit right here. We ready for the I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. I'm ready for the. We don't want to champ. The greatest champ ever. Nothing can stop the greatest team ever in the history of the. You'll be hearing war cries, rally cries, April, May. That's what we are about right here. And a heavy metal suicide mission. Let's go right here. Can you match my intensity? I doubt you can. I doubt you can. Luka means business. Over 40 points. How many games? 3 games? That's what I'm talking about. He's all in on winning. He wants the championship, Luka. King of Levante with love to someone has to win the purple and gold in front of the fans. In front of the fans. How many months away? Oh, we're 7 months away. We're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. We're 5-2. We're still dunking the Buntings and dunking the Buntings inclusion. It's only going to make this team lose that Phoenix Suns fan. No, sir. Phoenix Suns fans. You talking the trash about the on 2018. No! Unleash the dominating. He's better than your trash ass talk that's facing. Be about to take the championship this year. I better see all that else. 2021. I forgot nothing about 2021. They're gonna trash you motherfuckers. You're gonna be crying when they ate and wins the championship. I ain't gonna do nothing about this now. It'd be a dope-ass script if we beat the Celtics, but I doubt it. I doubt at this point. Cleveland Cavaliers are losers. This whole... Let's sit everybody out before the NBA Cup game. Michael Jordan start talking about the load management. No. Load management, you see, was primarily designed to prolong the careers of some 35-plus-year-old San Antonio Spurs players. It was not designed for people in their 20s to sit every other game. Hey, you've been here during the struggle. We've won this fucking championship. I'm the fucking go to basketball when we do so. I still like the Packers in the NFC. All this stuff with the 27 years old, it was weird. It's Jordan Love's birthday's today. It was 14 weeks from the Super Bowl. He didn't even throw a touchdown pass. I thought he got his 14th touchdown pass today, and he didn't get his 14th touchdown pass today. But Matt LaFleur is one of these guys who's been there for too long. He's been there for 6 years or so, and you got to get this guy in a Super Bowl. So my view is that Lamar Jackson is going to beat the Packers in the Super Bowl. I'm still the GOAT because the Chiefs going to fail to make it, and the Bills are not going to win until next year. I will take my victories. Will I take every victory this year? We'll find out. But I'll take my other victories. I have faded the Bills every year. I am the only hope and faith of the entire Buffalo Bills fan base. I have deserved that. I have created the Chiefs to beat this Bills team. I know the plan for the Buffalo Bills. This is a bad omen for the Bills. If you win the regular season, people are going to start jumping on you to win the Super Bowl. Bills are going to keep on winning football games. They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to win the division. The Bills are going to flounder again. The first time I'm going to take the Bills to win the Super Bowl is Super Bowl 61 because I am the GOAT. And I ain't got no Patreon. And that stuff is for losers and shills and little bums who want the easy way out. That's why you're washed up. Kobe Bryant would agree with me. Kobe Bryant would never cater for a Patreon network. I know what Kobe would do. People like big balls. It's not about getting it right or not. It's about getting your big balls out and make a fucking pick. Oh, it can be Broncos or Colts or this or that, but you make a pick. That's honestly what people should respect. But some toxic crisis characters shouldn't mind these people whatsoever. They need to be quickly forgotten about because they're irrelevant too. But the New York Knicks are going to fail to make it to the finals, but how are the Magic doing? They were supposed to play the Wizards. How are they doing? They beat the ass of the Wizards. They beat the ass of the Hornets. They started 1-4. Now they're 3-4. Paolo Banchero is a superstar. He is who the NBA wants to market next, in my view. Banchero with 28 points. This guy's out of his mind. He's out of his world right now. What's his average per game, Paolo Banchero? He's only averaging 23. He's putting some big baller performances. He is Italian. And Kobe spent his childhood at Italian. So I'm paying attention to this Orlando Magic team. One of their next games against Celtics, I think they will beat them. They played twice against Celtics in November. Which game do they beat the Magic? We'll have to find out, honestly. We'll have to find out. Rest of the NFL schedule, that's what y'all been waiting for. There's no Major League Baseball. There ain't no nothing like that. I'm a Raiders fan, but I bet on the Jaguars today. So I need to take off this meeting. My Raiders have lost today. Honestly, the Raiders are a dead team. They'll win the one lucky year, but this is just another rigged sports franchise. They only care about the tourists, bring in the money to the team, and not about the fans. So I'm a high IQ individual. I know this is what they care about, and I know that we need to see better days at the least. How did the Suns beat the Spurs? Yeah, let me just I'm really conflicted with my TV packages. I can't watch the game tomorrow because they pulled all the Disney channels from YouTube TV. Football TV, I can watch the D-backs. I can watch uh, the Losng Phoenix Suns. I don't know if they have NBA League Pass on football TV. I know they do on YouTube TV. Uh, I may have to cancel my subscription. I already did on YouTube TV. Now, I understand what Disney is doing. They want more subscribers to their ESPN Plus Hulu bundle. Uh, Football TV is owned 70% by Disney. I think Google is the good guy here. I think we've got we as in Google, YouTube TV. We got NFL Sunday Ticket. Um, Hopefully Disney burns from this. I will not subscribe to football TV. I can watch the D-backs. I can watch the loose Phoenix Suns, but I am thinking about subscribing to the NFL Sunday Ticket at a discounted rate at this point. But I should be able to watch my favorite team at any point in time, and this is a very big disgrace. Um, the Cowboys will beat my team, and I doubt I'm missing much from not watching the game tomorrow because the Cowboys going to win, and yeah, Cowboys going to win. Look at all these loser Phoenix Suns fans. Look at these washed up pieces of shit. I'm going to remind all these sorry ass losers exactly why they're a bunch of sorry ass motherfuckers. If the Lakers are +8-1, how the Miami Heat getting back in this game? Oh my God! We need Goat in the Bontan back in the game. Hey, baby! We need Goat in the Bond. Yeah, we need Goat in the Bond. How's the game? We should win the game. Fuck all you like go in the pond hating ass loser ass bums. Look at all the people that say, look, it's our championship team. And when Go the Bond comes back, hey, Go the Bond's gonna make you not a championship. You guys are losers. Anthony Davis was beating a little piece of shit. He was doing well in odd number games, game 1, 3, 5, and 7. But the even number games, Anthony Davis was terrible. He was unreliable for GOAT LeBron James. Let's not forget the real story behind Anthony Davis. He was unreliable. And all you last clowns start blaming Goat Kid Bond for losing the first round last year. Well, Lakers didn't have a rebounder last year. They didn't have a replacement for Anthony Davis. So this is not Goat Kid Bond's fault. This is not Luka's fault. This is not Coach Reddick's fault. This is the fault of the management. The management was to blame for last year. We needed a solid rebounding presence. And Maxi Kleber was hurt. How's that Goalkeeper Bond's fault? How's that Luka's fault? Point well taken. are we going to end this fourth quarter? How are we going to do so? 7 of 9, 19 points by the Ravi. What a deal this guy is, really. 7 of 7 shooting for Jackson Hayes right there. Look at that. Miami could fall to 1-3 away like LA is 13. Hopefully that takes the 5-2 should take shape for this game. 5-2 for the year, like Kobe's 5-2 record in the finals. I got no time for goking the bar. I hate that bum. Whiz kid, all you little faggoty ass losers. Too many men with very soft balls. They don't have hard balls. They're not conquerors. They're not warriors. They're not conquestors. They're not any of that. They just quit and fold at the earliest sight of adversity, and this is not how America won World War II on D-Day. How could we handle China? How could we handle? How would we respond? How would China respond? Well, wars will be fought between drones and robots anyways, and not the actual people. I think the billionaires would rather, killing sons of mothers. That's gonna work against Mad Flag the Putrid. But if you have robots and drones fighting the wars, well, at least people are not dying. It's just a matter of how much are you willing as a citizenry to contribute to the war. But cannon fodder, that's how Russians view their military people. They're cannon fodder at this point. There we go, 109, 104. Now we talking, now we talking, now we talking. You sorry ass go from the bar, hating bums. Good night, you bums. Look at you. Go to the bar is coaching this team perfectly. Go the bum. He chose the coach, not the Lakers. Why are we doing so good with JJ Redick? Coach the bar knows what he's doing. My God! You blame the coach for not having a good rebounder. That's Pelinka. Goalkeeper knows what he's doing. You have no brain. They won in games without Luka and goalkeeper times. I don't give a fuck about this Stanley Cup, and I could give two shits about it. It is a fun tournament to watch, the NHL, hard hitting and all that, but there's too much ambiguity going on with the NHL. It's done. Talking to LeBron James is the greatest story in the NBA that we've seen today. The most marketable player in Europe, Luka Doncic, it's over. Goalkeeper LeBron loser hating ass bums are retarded. They don't have a brain. They think it's over, but they're low IQ individuals. That's the moral of the story. Low IQ, not seeing a big picture, Bronny James assist. Bronny James. He got the assist. Hell yeah. Bronny James is getting. Imagine if Bronny James makes a key steal block in the playoffs. Oh, the magic is coming with Bronny James in the playoffs. Here we go. The loser hating ass bums can't do anything about this anymore. How does Marcus Smart get a technical foul? How is this possible? If I think my phone is at it must be at 1%. It's at 1%. You will refer to me as Big Baller T. So that's what we're here for. The Steelers are garbage. You will lose against the Chargers. Mediocre Mike against Jim Harbaugh. This isn't Mike McCoy. This isn't Norv Turner. Jim Harbaugh against mediocre Mike in a garbage Steelers defense. The Chargers going to win that game. Do not bet on my Cardinals tomorrow. The NFL would rather have the Cowboys stay in the mix. I know Jerry Jones tried to have his Pepsi deal outside of the NFL's Coke deal. The NFL was not happy about that, obviously. Maybe that's why they don't want Jerry Jones to win another Super Bowl again. But they'll still help Jerry Jones by still staying in the spotlight, but not necessarily winning a championship. So, yeah, he tried to go outside the NFL's existing deals to negotiate his own sponsorship deals with the Cowboys team, with Pepsi. That pissed off the NFL back in the day. Jerry Jones will never win a Super Bowl again. His ego, he doesn't. He would try to negotiate his own sponsorship deals. Not getting well with Jerry Jones. I miss Goalkeeper LeBron James. When will Goalkeeper LeBron James play again? You see, you little salty ass, loser ass Goalkeeper LeBron ass haters. You could have got the Lakers at the beginning of the season for 18-1. You motherfuckers. Look at you people. Look at you. Although I must say the fix is in for us to lose against the Spurs without Goalkeeper LeBron James. Like, we're going to win games without Goalkeeper LeBron. Because you have Luka, you have Austin Reeves. He responded to the fan criticism during the playoffs. So, Austin Reeves, he's got my back. Undrafted guy to a champion. He is Goalkeeper LeBron molded him into a champion. Don't Kill the Bond will be back in mid-November is the probable timeline. And for all the people, what you call him Don't Kill the Bond? You're about to find out. He's about to win 6 rings. He's about to hit clutch shots that Luka won't make. That's what Don't Kill the Bond about to do. I think you all salty hate it. We need Don't Kill the Bond back on the court. Fuck all the haters. Fuck all the we're moving on the new superstars. Well, they did that during the last 6 years. But you motherfuckers, joking the Bond Giants remains and joking the Bond and the most popular player in Europe? Your brains are fried. This is a winning formula. Joking the Bond, the greatest player in the game. And the most popular player, ratings-wise, in Europe. Luka Doncic. And yes, Clowney, I think I'm leaving. I'm about to be the GOAT. It's time to say screw you. 5 people, 6 legs, 5 and 6 NBA finals. Motherfucker. I know we threw the series last year. I know for a fact the Lakers threw the series last year. I know the time has come. Anyone who realizes the value of patience is a virtue. This is a virtue. This is what it is right there. Patience is a virtue. You have to be patient. You have to realize that it's not even year 23. Yeah, ain't not patient. Joker! Not that done! 118, 110. Time out. Now we topped and jumped in a time. Fuck Anthony Edwards. Fuck Jokic. Fuck SCN. Fuck the Thunder. Fuck all your garbage ass team. Yeah, and the ball. You go the Thunder. How much does this change our championship future? Hey, fuck the haters. Fuck them all. Fuck the haters. Lakers are going to play the Thunder. We're going to whip their fucking ass. All the retards are going to pick the Thunder. They're all worthless, as far as I can tell. They're all worthless. It's time to start being high in my after tonight. Let's go. It's time to be high and mighty. The trolls and the loser hating ass bombs are all worthless. Go kill that bomb. Luka, legendary elixir is the only thing that matters at this point. We have a team. What are Lavavia's key date durations from Kobe's birthday? That's what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to know. White supremacy, Donald Trump, Lakers white players. He says symbolic rituals here. Luka, Reeves, Laravia. The center, his name, the German, Maxi Kleber. Donald Trump will only invite a team with quite a bit of white players to the White House. Because of Donald Trump white supremacist ritual. That's why. Like has won championships during countless recessions in the past. The dot-com internet recession, the 2009 recession, 1950s recession. Recessions favor good for the LA gods. Suck the blood opponent. We are too fucking damn good. Oh, the loser ass haters out there discount this team at the last year. They're fools. They fools, all of them. They fools. I just wonder when the Lakers championship odds going to change, when people start to believe in them. Ah, you sorry asshole, motherfucking assholes. Kiss my purple one gold ass, motherfucker. I am the goat of basketball. This Eric Enders guy is a troll. I'm just gonna delete every comment from his video. He's a fucking retard if he's still gonna comment on my channel. Because he's too fucking dumb to realize I'm just gonna delete every comment from him because he's a worthless ass troll. Hangs around his mom's basement trolling on Gamacha videos. He really needs to get a life. He's a fag. A fag and a loser who doesn't even bet on football games, period. It's quite comical when I delete every comment from this guy, but he still comments on the videos. He's a full budged retard. He has no brain whatsoever. It's hilarious. So I love deleting troll comments. I love it. Major League Baseball equals 162. Baseball equals 54. Dodgers won 5-4 in Game 7. All these retards at tonight, Gamache, they're worthless. They defend a billionaire fucking piece of shit building a ballroom and knocking off the east wing of the White House. Man, this country's not worth fighting for when all these fucking people defend this Donald Trump guy. You never want to have an asshole employer who is a Donald Trump supporter. At this point, this means America is not even worth fighting for at this point. This is another degenerate, fallen empire that's going to collapse. So let it fucking collapse. Losers defending a guy who doesn't give a fuck about his own citizens. He could care more about a ball. Bunch of worthless ass, racist ass losers. Every single one of them. They only like the guy because they think he's targeting minorities. These people are worthless. These people are fucking assholes. They're racist ass pieces of shit. They're not even part of the club that Donald Trump deems as part of the club. They're worthless. Donald Trump doesn't care about poor whites. He only uses them to get a vote. He's gutting Snap, but the highest users of Snap are from white southern states like Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma, you name it. These poor ass Republican ass rednecks. They're a joke. Fuck every one of them. They're all racist. And prove otherwise. Prove to me otherwise. I'm done here. I made my points. Well taken tonight. Anyone who wants to bet on the Broncos next week, I mean, you're delusional. Sorry. You're delusional. Sorry. Live for another night. Here we go.